The topic of this pack of slides is types of leverages. I already introduced the types of leverages to you in the previous pack. We will look at each of the types in a little more detail. Uh, well, this is an overview of the two types of very commonly used leverages: financial leverage and operating leverage. I'm sure you're familiar with this income statement. I have already shown this income statement to you, with obviously with a few differences in the terms, but conceptually it's the same. So out of sales, there is a reduction of cost of goods sold, which gives the gross profit, and there's a reduction of selling and administrative costs, which gives EBITDA. After that, if you deduct depreciation, you get EBIT, and then deduction of interest gets you earnings before taxes, or PBT. Then minus taxes gives you PAT. So well, this diagram kind of sums up the importance of operating leverage and financial leverage at various levels of an income statement. So it says that the degree of operating leverage plays its role from sales till the EBITDA. Okay, which means now the degree of operating leverage uh, means the component of fixed cost in the total cost of the company. We will discuss that further. And after EBITDA, it's the degree of financial leverage which plays a role. Both of them are equally important for financial planning and for gauging the performance evaluation, also for the final EPS of the company. Let's look at each of them in detail. Financial leverage. I had already discussed financial leverage with you. It is basically the uh, component of debt in the total capital structure of a company. How we calculate the financial leverage is by the formula EBIT by EBT. EBIT, by now I'm sure you know that it's the operating income, and EBT is the taxable income. So this is what gives the financial leverage. Basically, it says the EBIT per unit of EBT. If you look at the numerical here, EBI, it says the company has the following capital structure. There's an equity given, total equity, debentures of 5 lakhs are given, EBIT or the operating profit is given. How do we calculate the financial leverage? It is basically the EBIT by EBT, as we know. So EBIT is 2 lakhs divided by EBT. Now EBT is EBIT minus interest. Interest is the interest on the debentures. 5 lakh is the debenture value, 15% is the interest. So if you calculate 15% of 5 lakhs, this gives you 75,000. So that is why we have deducted 75,000 from 2 lakhs. And and hence we divide 2 lakhs by the difference between 2 lakhs and 75,000 to arrive at 1.6 times. So the financial leverage here in this case is 1.6 times. That's how we calculate the financial leverage. Now, what's the operating leverage? As I had already mentioned to you when we started discussing the concept of leverages, operating leverage is a company's fixed versus variable cost. A company with a higher percentage of fixed cost is said to have high operating leverage. The way a company with a higher component of debt is called as company with a high financial leverage. Similarly, higher fixed cost means high operating leverage. As its sales grow, more of these sales trickle down into operating income. So if you see here, if you okay, it doesn't show here, but if you remember the income statement which I had shown you there, it said sales minus variable cost, which gave you contribution, and minus fixed cost, which gave you the EBIT. So if you have less of variable cost, the contribution of the company goes up. Okay, and that kind of affects your operating income. The degree of operating leverage is calculated by the formula contribution margin by operating income. We all know what is contribution margin. We also know what is operating